A spotlight cuts through darkness at Houston's NRG Stadium. 80,000 voices fade to silence as Beyoncé stops mid-performance, her hand raised. The music dies, dancers freeze. Her eyes lock onto section 117, row 23, where a small figure sits in a wheelchair wrapped in blankets despite the Texas heat. The girl's name is Taylon. She's 13 years old. She has weeks, maybe days to live, and Beyoncé has just seen her. What happens in the next 7 minutes will break every heart in that stadium and create a moment so powerful it will be shared across every continent within hours. If you've ever wondered what true compassion looks like when someone has the power to change a life in an instant, stay with me because this story will restore your faith in humanity. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we bring you real stories about real people doing extraordinary things when it matters most. August 9th, 2019. The Formation World Tour stop in Houston. This isn't just another concert. This is Beyoncé at the absolute peak of her cultural power, performing for a sold-out crowd in one of America's largest indoor venues. The production involves over 300 crew members, 48 semi-trucks of equipment, and a stage design that cost $14 million. Every second is choreographed, every light cue programmed, every moment planned down to the breath. But in section 117, none of that matters to Taylon Davis and her mother, Nicole. Taylon has stage 4 neuroblastoma. The cancer has spread to her bones, her liver, her lymph nodes. Doctors have stopped treatment. They've said goodbye at the hospital 3 times already. This concert, made possible by Make-A-Wish Foundation, is Taylon's final dream. She's wearing a gold dress that matches Beyoncé's aesthetic. She's too weak to hold her own head up. Her mother supports her, one arm around her daughter's fragile shoulders, the other holding a sign that reads simply, "Beyoncé, Taylon is dying. Please see her." Beyoncé is 37 years old, a mother herself, and has been performing for 25 years. She's sung for presidents and kings. She's headlined Super Bowls and Coachella. But tonight, she's also a woman who understands something profound about mortality and meaning. Her backing vocalists, the Melodies, have been with her for years. Her dancers know every micro-expression on her face. Her musical director can read her intentions from across the stage. They're a machine of precision. But they're also human beings who are about to witness something none of them expected. In the audience, Taylon is fading in and out of consciousness. The lights are too bright, the sounds too loud. But she's here. She made it. Her mother keeps whispering in her ear, "Stay with me, baby. Just a little longer. You're going to meet her. I promise." The show opens with explosions of light and pyrotechnics. Formation. Sorry. Hold up. Beyoncé moves with the controlled fury of someone who has mastered her craft completely. The crowd is not passive. They're participants, singing every word, dancing in the aisles, holding phones high to capture moments for later. The energy is electric, almost religious. 3 songs in, during a brief transition, Beyoncé does something she's done at every show for years. She scans the crowd. Not a generic wave, but a genuine search. She's looking for something specific. Connection, need, recognition. Her eyes move systematically, section by section, and then she sees it. The sign, the girl, the mother's desperate face. Beyoncé's expression changes instantly. Her mouth tightens, her eyes widen. She raises her hand sharply, and the music director sees it immediately. He cuts the track, the band stops. The dancers halt mid-movement. 80,000 people go from deafening noise to confused silence in less than 3 seconds. Beyoncé walks to the edge of the stage, her heels clicking on the platform. She points directly at section 117. "You," she says, her voice filling the arena through her headset mic. The girl in gold. "Can someone bring her to me? Right now. Stop everything. Bring her to me." Security moves instantly. The crowd erupts, not in cheers, but in a collective gasp. People are standing, trying to see what's happening. The massive LED screens focus on Taylon, and suddenly 80,000 people see what Beyoncé sees. A child, clearly ill, wrapped in blankets, barely conscious. Nicole begins pushing the wheelchair forward, her hands shaking so violently she can barely grip the handles. Other audience members help clear a path. The journey from section 117 to the stage takes 90 seconds, but every eye in the building is locked on that wheelchair. Beyoncé remains at the edge of the stage, waiting, her hand still raised as if holding the entire moment in suspension. When Taylon reaches the stage, there's an immediate problem. The platform is elevated nearly 5 feet, but Beyoncé doesn't hesitate. She sits down on the edge, her crystal-covered legs dangling over, her custom Givenchy bodysuit, worth more than most people's cars, getting dusty on the stage floor. She doesn't care. Security positions the wheelchair directly in front of her, and Beyoncé leans forward, her face now inches from Taylon's. The girl's eyes flutter open. For a moment, she doesn't understand what she's seeing. Then recognition floods her face, and she begins to cry. Beyoncé reaches out and takes both of Taylon's hands. "Hi, beautiful," Beyoncé says, her voice soft but picked up by her mic so the entire stadium hears it. "What's your name?" Taylon tries to speak but can't. Her mother leans in and whispers, "Taylon." "Her name is Taylon." Beyoncé nods, never taking her eyes off the girl. "Taylon, that's a beautiful name. Do you know how brave you are? Do you know how strong?" Taylon shakes her head slightly. Beyoncé smiles, and tears are now visible on her face. "You are the strongest person in this building tonight, you hear me? The strongest." The stadium has gone completely silent, not a cough, not a whisper. 80,000 people are holding their collective breath. Beyoncé reaches up and removes a crystal brooch from her bodysuit, a piece designed by Riccardo Tisci, worth thousands of dollars. She places it carefully in Taylon's palm and closes the girl's fingers around it. "This is yours now. You keep this, and you remember that you are loved, you are seen, you are a warrior." Then Beyoncé begins to sing. No backing track, no band, just her voice, raw and unfiltered. She sings Halo, the same song she sang at her own daughter's first birthday, the song about angels and light. Her voice cracks on the first line, but she continues. The band begins to play softly, supporting but not overwhelming. Beyoncé sings every word directly to Taylon, who is now fully conscious, tears streaming down her face, her mouth forming the words along with Beyoncé's. When the chorus hits, the entire stadium joins in, 80,000 voices creating a wall of sound that feels less like a concert and more like a prayer. Beyoncé holds the final note, her voice climbing higher, and when she finishes, the crowd explodes. But Beyoncé raises her hand again, asking for silence. When the noise dies down, she looks at Taylon one more time and says, "You changed this show tonight. You made this special. Thank you for being here. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for being exactly who you are." Security begins to help Nicole turn the wheelchair, but Beyoncé stops them. She stands, walks backstage for a moment, and returns with her own water bottle and a tour jacket. She drapes the jacket over Taylon's shoulders and places the water bottle in the wheelchair's cup holder. Then she kisses Taylon's forehead, and the cameras capture the moment in high definition. A superstar and a dying child, forehead to forehead, sharing a moment of pure human connection. The show continues, but everything has changed. Beyoncé's performance is different now, more intense, more emotional. She keeps glancing back to where Taylon has been moved, to a special section closer to the stage. Between songs, she points and smiles. The dancers are crying. The band members are wiping their eyes. After the show ends, Beyoncé doesn't go to her dressing room. She goes directly to Taylon's section and spends 45 minutes with the family. No cameras, no publicists, just conversation. She asks about Taylon's favorite things, her dreams, her fears. She gives Nicole her personal phone number and tells her to call any time, day or night. She arranges for the family to have access to anything they need, medical bills, accommodations, whatever it takes. This isn't for publicity. This is human being to human being. The video goes viral within 2 hours. By morning, 200 million views. Every major news network covers the story. The hashtag #BeForTaylon trends globally for 6 days straight, but the real impact happens quietly. Taylon lives for 3 more weeks. In that time, she receives messages from around the world. Her hospital room is filled with flowers. She appears on video calls with celebrities and politicians. But what she treasures most is that jacket and that brooch, which never leave her bedside. When Taylon passes away on August 30th, Beyoncé doesn't issue a public statement. Instead, she sends a private message to Nicole and attends the funeral quietly, sitting in the back, leaving before anyone can approach her. She establishes a foundation in Taylon's name that provides end-of-life experiences for terminally ill children. The moment becomes a defining part of Beyoncé's legacy, cited in every documentary and retrospective about her career. What this moment teaches us transcends celebrity culture. It reveals something fundamental about what it means to be human. Beyoncé had every reason to continue with her show as planned. The production was flawless. 80,000 people had paid significant money for a specific experience. But she chose connection over perfection. She chose to see a child who needed to be seen. She chose to stop the machinery of fame and spectacle because someone's humanity mattered more. And in doing so, she created something far more valuable than any choreographed routine. She gave a dying child dignity, recognition, and love in her final days. This is what separates performers from legends. Anyone can execute a show. It takes someone exceptional to recognize when the show doesn't matter anymore. In your own life, you have this same power. You have the ability to stop your routine, to notice someone in pain, to make someone feel that they matter in their darkest moment. You don't need a stage or millions of followers. You just need to care enough to pay attention. Beyoncé could have sent a message afterward. She could have made a donation. Instead, she stopped everything. She sat down at eye level, she touched hands, she sang. She gave of herself in the most vulnerable way possible. So here's my question for you. Who in your life is invisible right now? Who's suffering in silence? Who needs someone to stop the noise and truly see them? What would it cost you to be that person? The answer is nothing but a moment of your time. But what it might give them could be everything. Share this story if it moved you. Tell me in the comments about a time someone stopped for you when you needed it most. Hit that like button if you believe in the power of human compassion. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we're bringing you more stories about people who choose humanity over everything else. Now go out there and be someone's Beyoncé. Be the person who stops, who sees, who cares. Because in the end, that's all any of us really want. To be seen, to be valued, to matter. And you have the power to give that gift every single day.